gonna do with all that green? I'm gonna feed my monkeys with it. They all hang out by the pool next to my backyard roller coaster with my face on a giant poster. Tonight we're having oysters with a Kobe steak in the toaster. Okay, I'm done. That's all I can do. That guy's got quite the lungs on him. That's a fun song. I like that song. If you guys are interested, it's called Kobe Steak by Martin Landh. Stuff's in the description, as usual. Now, a little while ago, I asked you guys to send me some questions, or ask me some questions in regards to either myself or the YouTube channel, or whatever you kind of wanted to ask, because I wanted to do a Q&A. And we will be getting to the Q&A very shortly. I just wanted to mention that this video is not all about Battlefield 4. I do have a lot of Bad Company 2, which is probably what I'll be naming the title. Anyways, it's, I can't really stand Battlefield 4. I don't know. There's just something about it. It's mainly just the intro here where you see the gameplay. But I'm using the CS5, which is probably, I believe it's the fastest firing sniper rifle. And I didn't realize, but I am in a hardcore server when I was recording this, so that's why I started using this with a straight pole bolt. Because then you can just run around quickscoping people. On to the Q&A then. I will be answering the questions that you guys sent me, as well as I figured I might as well tell you guys a little bit about myself, because you guys probably don't know. I've never really done a Q&A before. Well, actually I have, but it was a long time ago, and we've gained quite a few subscribers since then, so yeah. What mouse do you use? I get this one quite a bit. I've never really understood why it matters that much what mouse you use. I just find that whatever you use feels more comfortable for you, then that's probably the mouse you should be using. But for me personally, I use a mouse called the Zowie or the Zowie FK1. I believe it's more known for the Counter-Strike competitive scene, or at least it was. Now people have started moving on to other mice. But yeah, this is the one I use. I like it because it's got a lower profile, and the mouse clicks are a little bit more tough than, say, your Logitech mice, which I believe are using Omron switches. These are using Quanu switches, I believe, so they're a little bit heavier. And sometimes when you have those gaming sessions where you like to tense up, or you just happen to tense up in a clutch situation, I don't like mistakenly clicking my mouse and giving away my position. So that's why I use this one. That, and I feel like the sensor, and because of the low profile, those precision shots help me out quite a bit. As you guys have seen in my Dirty Pop videos, I can hit some nice headshots. So yeah, but like I said, use what you feel comfortable with. Next one, I'm not sure if this is a question disguised as a compliment, or a compliment disguised as a question. Why did you decide to create your amazing channel? Well, thank you. I can't remember who actually asked that one, but I'm glad you liked the channel. I feel like this answer is pretty common, but for me it started as kind of like a creative outlet, and I think a lot of other content creators will say the same thing. I'm not totally sure. I just like the idea of kind of taking some good moments, putting them together, and with some nice music, and creating a cool memory out of it. That's how I kind of look at my videos. I just create them as memories that I can probably look back on in the future and, you know, see what I did with all this time gaming. And then along came everyone hopping on the sub train, and it kind of became more of a little bit of a hobby than anything, which is something that I want to touch on. I only do YouTube as a hobby. I have never wanted to do it as a job. Actually, in the past, obviously you think about these things, but I feel like if I treated it as a job, I'd have to rush my videos in order to get the payment out of it, and I don't like that feeling. I've rushed videos in the past, and I've ended up just taking them down just strictly because I didn't like the outcome of them, and I felt that if they were rushed and if I had spent a little bit more time on them, then they could have been a lot better. So I guess you could say that goes with the saying, the best things in life are worth waiting for. I'm not saying that my videos are the best thing in life. Don't take that the wrong way. I didn't mean it that way. But I think you guys kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Also, since I am doing YouTube as completely hobby related, I don't take any of the money that I actually earn from YouTube, which at this point isn't very much. And no, I will not go over how much I actually do make off of it. But all the money that I do make goes back into the channel, whether it's gear for getting better graphics cards and such, so that I can actually record footage in 1080p, 60 FPS, or buying the license for a song that I want to use, which obviously pays off in the long run because you guys seem to enjoy the music. So plus you get to find cooler music that you probably haven't heard of, which can take a long time to find, let me tell you. Next question. Where do you think would be a good place for a new sniper to practice? Or I'm assuming that you mean something along the lines of a guide, or, you know, giving you tips on sniping. I'm not really one for guides. I feel like there's a lot of people that can do a better job than I can when it comes down to it. Besides giving you the generic answer of point and click, It all depends on the actual game that you're playing. Obviously, Battlefield, if someone's moving, you have to hit a moving shot by leading them and calculating the bullet velocity and all that fun stuff. So I guess I'll give you a few quick tips that I kind of use myself in order to hit the shots that I really need to hit in when I'm playing as a sniper. Generally, I just aim for the head. That's basically my number one rule. I always aim for the head because what's the point in getting a body shot if you're going to have to follow it up with another body shot, right? One shot, one hitter quitter is a lot better than two hitter quitter. Plus the phrase works better. The next tip is something that you should just always have, and that's a solid sensitivity that you can snipe with, hit flick shots with, and also run around with your guns, rifles, and all that. So basically when it comes down to it, just find a solid sensitivity that you find comfortable, one that you can hit the flick shots when you absolutely need to, and just keep it consistent. Practice makes perfect, and it'll come in the end. And the last one, which I believe is kind of a given, is positioning. Positioning is always key no matter what FPS game you're playing. Whether you're sniping or not, you just have to learn to stick to your corners, make sure you're not out in the open, obviously, and just pick a vantage point where you have enough view on where you believe people are going to be. I do have another tip. I'm not sure how well this will help many people, but some people I find don't know when to take a shot, and in my personal experience, I just take basically every shot that I can see. Because you never know if you can hit a shot or not. You don't know what's going to happen, right? You can't really predict the outcome, so if a guy runs into a bullet, then he runs into a bullet. But yeah, take every shot that you can, because you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Next, what is your gaming setup like? Well, it looks something like this. Don't mind the extremely orange background. They kind of had this room as a little bit of an art gallery sort of thing. So they had paintings and all that up on the walls. So I guess the orange was to accentuate the pictures. But yeah, it can be quite hard on the eyes, but I kind of got used to it. So we are going to be renovating soon though. And if you guys are interested, I might go over my build in a future video. And well, I guess it's time to talk about myself a little bit. I'll answer a few questions that I think are pretty common across the board when it comes to answering questions about something you're interested in, I guess. So first one being, how old are you? I normally don't actually answer this question because I think age is just a number and it doesn't really matter in the end, unless it comes to drinking and all that. You know, there are rules when it comes to ages, but I don't think I need to go over those. So currently, right now, I am 21 years old. My birthday is on March 6th. When a lot of people try to guess my age off looks, they always say that I look a lot older than I am. I'm not sure if that's a compliment at this age or not, so I don't know. Not once has anyone actually guessed my age correctly off the first try. So I've actually been guessed as old as 29. I don't look 29. People are crazy. I took that one to heart. You know who you are. Next question, what do you do besides YouTube? Well, not much, really. I enjoy the video process and recording and editing and just playing with friends in general online. I always find that fun, but you do need to get outside every once in a while, so, you know, I do the normal things like go to the movies, hang out with your friends, and swimming at the beach. I'd say it's pretty normal stuff. Besides going on vacation, I haven't been on vacation in probably 6 years. Oh my god, I am old. Before you know it, I will be 29. But maybe I'll be like Benjamin Button, and I'll go the opposite way. I'll look like a baby when I'm 29. That wouldn't be so bad. Wouldn't have to waste money on lotion, that's for sure. Then again, I don't think women would be attracted to someone who looks like a baby when they're 29 years old, so maybe I would have to waste money on lotion. Oh, that's different. Disregard. Let's keep this train moving. Okay, next thing. What do you do for work if you have a job? Well, I can only tell you a certain amount of information about my job due to the work that I actually do, and because I'm sworn under oath not to disclose any information. So, I can basically just give you the gist of what I do. I work at a police station, and no, before you get your hopes up, I am not a police officer. Or possibly yet. I don't know. I haven't decided a career path, but that's a whole nother story. What I actually do is civilian work. It's called civilian data entry. I'm a civilian data entry clerk. I know, such an amazing title. It actually sounds quite boring. But the gist of what I do is, well, it's probably better if I give you a scenario. Let's say an officer pulls you over on the highway and you were speeding, you were being bad, not following the rules, as people normally do. It's in our nature. And the officer decides to give you a ticket. Well, I type up all the information that happened from point A to point B. We get the smallest complaints from as far as dog complaints, animal complaints, and stuff like that, or neighbor disputes, to someone actually committing suicide. Those are obviously the more unfortunate ones, and everything in between. So we do have to do the work. It's unfortunate when you get the bad occurrences, but it's part of the job. Plus, you do occasionally get the funny ones where, you know, the Pokemon Go stuff going on. People hopping backyard fences, being where they're not supposed to be, you name it. As bad as some occurrences can get, it's a little bit more interesting for us to do because then it keeps us awake. Keeps things interesting, which is terrible to say, especially when it comes down to suicides. But it seems like the world's drawn to drama, so... But like I said, I'm not allowed to talk very much about it due to the fact that I'm under oath and the amount of information that I have on, well, everything. For some, it might not be the most interesting job in the world, but it makes you feel like you're kind of doing something when you're supporting the front line in that way. A couple more questions then. I always love sniping people out of helicopters in this game. It's so satisfying. What kind of music do you like? As you guys have seen in my previous videos, I like a little bit of rock. Honestly, that's not the only thing. I like a lot more than rock. It's just, that's kind of what I grew up with, so always listen to it on the radio and it just kind of stuck with me. So I know a lot of the older songs. But when it comes down to it, I like what I like. If I listen to a tune that sounds good to me, then that's kind of what I like. I don't have a specific genre in particular that I love the most. It's just whatever sounds good to my ears. Do you have any pets? Well, I don't currently. I used to have a standard poodle. I know everyone laughs at that when you say poodle, but it's true because my family is actually quite allergic to fur when it comes to animals. So horse hair, you name it, cat hair, dog hair. It actually gets quite bad. We're allergic to hay and fresh cut grass as well, and pollen. So yeah, summer times can be quite difficult for us. I guess that's a good thing that we live in Canada then. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Yes, I am Canadian. You will never hear me say A. It is very rare, unless I'm doing it on purpose. But the standard poodle that we used to have, and I swear he was the best dog in the world. I know everyone says that about their own animals, but I believe that it was true. It's really unfortunate we had to put him down because he developed lymph node cancer, which is apparently pretty common when it comes to standard poodles. I don't know why. It was really unfortunate, so we had to put him down because of that, and we could have given him treatment. It would have cost quite a bit, but there was no guarantee that it would actually go away, and then we would have to do it again and again. So, pretty difficult time for us. For those of you who aren't aware, lymph node cancer is cancer of the glands, so they kept swelling up to the point where he couldn't even breathe anymore, and getting up and walking around was too much for him because it was putting even pressure on his lungs, and he was just winded all the time. Also, for those of you who are probably making fun of the standard poodle reference, normal people don't keep their poodles as show-looking dogs. That crazy haircut with the fluffy tail and the pom-poms nearly everywhere, that's only a show dog look. No one in their right mind would keep a dog looking like that all the time, unless you have an extreme ego to keep. Because keeping a haircut like that costs quite a bit. And quite personally, I think it looks absolutely ridiculous. We are, however, getting a new dog. We haven't fully decided on a name just yet, but it will be another standard poodle just because, well, the hypoallergenic reasons is a pretty good one, I would say. And on top of that, we like poodles. They have they're a very intelligent dog, and they don't shed, so we don't always have to pick up the hair and vacuum as much. I'm sure I'll put a picture up on screen right now of how she looks. She hasn't been groomed yet, obviously, because she was just born not too long ago. Like I said before, we haven't really come up with a name yet, but I think that we're going to actually stick with the name Farah. Yes, I know a lot of people are thinking the game Overwatch. I think subconsciously I came up with the name, and I wasn't actually thinking about the game, so it also wasn't my choice just to fully decide on the name alone, but everyone seems to like it, so. And I think it suits her cute little face. Look at her. She's so cute. You know, the older that I get, I do start to realize that my parents were right in certain ways. When they say that you'll understand when they're taking a bunch of pictures of you when you're older, then they're not joking. Because I do wish I had a little bit more videos, or a video, in fact, at all, of Winston. I just have a few pictures, which is unfortunate because he truly was an amazing dog. And I mean, he was only about 6 years old, so it makes it that much worse. There, now that I hopefully got most of the questions out of the way. I know that took a little while. It's going to be quite a long video, actually. I'd just like to take this moment to thank you guys for all the support that you give me. I probably don't say that as much as I should, but it's been a long run. I've been doing YouTube for probably, going on 3 years now? Probably about 2 for actual consistency and trying to improve myself as a content creator. I should also mention that it does not matter to me how many subscribers I actually have, whether it's 100 people watching my videos or 1,000. It doesn't matter to me. I'm still going to continue to do it, and I'm gonna do my best to bring you guys some nice content. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a long one, and you're probably sick of hearing me talk, but I'll catch you guys in the next one.